Welcome to the hottest happy hour in STL right here on the In Your City show at the all-new KLIS 590 AM. But the greatest thing about it is you don't have to listen to radio anymore. You can just put the app on your phone, Lou Information Station. You'll see the KLIS come up. Listen, just click that, listen to the radio shows, all of them. There's lots of great shows throughout the day. And then, of course, if you want to watch us virtually, which is the best, it's like watching TV from your phone, your TV. I always find it funny when I turn on YouTube, and there we are up on the TV.
It's kind of like behind the scenes because you're seeing me mess with stuff. So.
You never know what you might see. But actually, go to louinfo.com. You can watch it virtually. That way you can meet the guests, see them for yourself. And then, of course, Gordon's so handy dandy with tech. He puts a lot of great things on there to learn a little bit more about the guests that we have on the show. We had a great last show, and now we're bringing a new one to you right here. We're bringing a blend of tech smarts and timeless style to the show. We're going to be meeting with Bret Beringer. No, I don't think he has to do with is there Beringer wine?
There is.
Notice I went right to wine
He's
with that.
Going, yes, there is.
Yeah, unfortunately, they don't give me any money for that, though.
They wish they did. You'd give some to us. But he's with Fybr. He's going to take us inside the smart city movement with the ParkSTC app, making it easier than ever to find parking because we all know that makes us super crabby when we go somewhere. We're going to shift gears into a Western style. We're going to meet Caleb Geuns, or Geuns, not sure. Geuns. What do you think, Gordon? Geuns or Geuns? Geuns.
I don't know.
All right, we'll
I'm
just
going
ask
to go
him.
with Geuns.
Geuns?
Just sounds more Western.
Especially Diamond G Hat. Maybe I'll just do that. Diamond G Hat Company, from craft shaping authentic Western hats to celebrating tradition and brand quality. So technology and tradition, that kind of made me come up with a question of, when it comes to living life, Gordon,
Yes.
are you more about smart innovations, or are you more about the timeless traditions?
It depends on the situation. If I'm out of town and on traveling, I think innovations would be helpful for me to know what's going on, how to get there, where to go, and with our next guest talking about the things that he's going to incorporate.
That's true.
But if it's not travel and I'm just at home and I already know my surroundings, I think more just about tradition and chilling and relaxing.
Which is hard to do with all the new smart innovations, because everything we do, we're applying that in our life. It can make things a lot easier.
For example, when we were in San Francisco, I got an app to find out where the scooters were, where the bikes were. There was another
We also
app.
didn't have to wait in line to buy tickets for Alcatraz.
Or wait in line to get tickets for the trolley, because I could do it right there on my phone. Boom, I had the tickets. I didn't have to go find somewhere to do it. Of course, with the trolley going up and down, you just jump on it. And then, which I kind of found interesting, it's kind of like, you got your ticket. I go, no. He goes, we can go here and get it. And we had to get a ticket, but he didn't really ask us for a ticket.
No,
it was
true.
But it was that. Finding places to eat, you always where's the closest place to get sushi, when you're out of town.
Well, even the airline, we wouldn't know if a plane's delayed until you got there, whereas you can check ahead of time.
Where's your baggage claim? Which kiosk has got your baggage claim?
Okay, you're making me like the smart. Plus, a car drove up to pick us up that didn't have a driver in it.
Right.
A Uberless Uber. There was no one in the driver's seat.
I'm going to give one for Uber over the driverless cars.
He had gum waiting for us.
He had gum. Not only that, he got out, opened our doors to put our luggage in, which the driverless car is not going to do for you. Not only that, Uber got there in 3 minutes, and I think the car that didn't have a driver maybe drives. See, I'm a guy that likes a driver that drives like me, so he gets in and he just flies. Takes us to where we got to go. He's cutting off traffic. He's doing all that stuff. Those other cars won't do that, because when I watched them, you see how careful they were with kind of waiting and go. It take a lot longer.
It did stop when someone walked in front of him. I mean, it knew its surroundings, what was going on. But it's pretty weird to see a car drive by with people in the back seat and nobody's in the front.
I did like how the Uber guy goes, don't ever get one of those things. I've seen him run into buses. I've seen him do this. Of course, he's the Uber driver.
He doesn't want us to use the Uberless drivers. He wants us to use them. But there are a lot of great, obviously, we've got to get with the times. I think it's probably harder for us as older people. We're enjoying a lot of the new smart innovations, but when it comes to watching TV, when you're trying to go through 50,000 apps just to find a show.
When it used to be 2, 4, 5, 11,
You
channel
just
9,
hit a
channel
or you'd
30.
be right in the middle of a movie when you turned it on. You're like, oh, I'm staying in and watching this.
Yeah,
But
this is on.
But I think that, yes, the smart innovations are making life easier. It's making us lazy, though.
But in
I think
a way,
we're becoming lazy.
look at our own show. The technology I get to use to help make our show better because it creates intros and outro videos and things like that. Things that I would never be able to do.
Definitely something to ponder there.
I mean, I'm sitting here changing cameras on this little thing about the size of an iPhone, and it's right here. It's, it's a television studio and an iPad.
And I would be lost. I'd never get anywhere because I would never be able to find my way out of a box if I didn't have my little, what is it, Zage or MapQuest, all those things.
Or I would never be able to tell Kelly where she is. If we didn't have Live 360, I'd be like, I don't know where I am. I'd get on Live 360. I go, you need to make a right turn here. It's like.
So yeah, I can't even find my way with the technology that we have. So I guess I'm never going to be okay with it. It's never going to be good enough for me.
We answered that question.
Give me a few things to ponder.
Well, so these are some things that I found interesting.
Okay.
What if the dog only brings the ball back because he thinks that you like throwing it?
There's a thought. That's pretty good.
Oh, my owner. I'm just trying to make him happy. Here's the ball. Here, go ahead. Throw it again. Hey, Wes. Oh, my gosh. What if the poison expiration date is passed? Does that mean it's less or more poisonous?
Oh, my gosh. That's crazy to think about. You're making me cough. Okay. Give me more.
Do twins, this is my favorite, do twins ever realize that one of them is unplanned?
That's so true. No one is going for twins.
Why is the W pronounced double U with the letter U instead of double V with the letter V?
That's really a good one because they are V's.
They are.
They aren't U's. That's really stupid, whoever thought of that. Should be double V. I guess it would be weird if we always said it like that.
And this one's interesting too. 100 years ago, everyone had a horse. Only the rich had a car. But today, everyone has cars and only the rich have horses.
Isn't that the truth?
That is true.
Those are good.
So we'll leave you.
We'll leave you sitting with those. Are you giving me one more?
If you rip a hole in a net, you have less holes than you started with.
Yeah, that's true, but kind of.
Do you get it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you made the 4 holes bigger into 1 hole.
Oh.
I knew I had to explain it.
So
I can't wait to put a little question mark up on their head. What?
You're going to edit that out, by the way. Before you put the question mark.
No, it's more fun.
There's an extra few seconds we just have. Oh, wow.
This one I had to think about. This is the last one. If you replace the W with a T in what, where, and when, you would have the answer to each.
If you put a W in the place of the T.
Of what?
Okay.
So if you take the T, if you replace a W with a T in what, where, and when, you would have the answer to each. So what would become that? Where would become there? And when would become then?
Who sits around and thinks of all these great things?
Stephen Wright, I think. He was the original guy that made you always go, you know what, he's got a point.
He does have a point. Those are pretty good.
So there you go. Things to ponder.
Things to ponder. And now we're going to ponder who is our next guest. We just got a little blip of him there just a second ago as he's waiting patiently in what we call the initial green room that turns into the interviewing room by the time we're ready to go. Welcome to the show, Bret Beringer.
Thank you.
Which we go way back.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, way back when I was doing radio. It was either the Be Delicious Live or the Kelly Lamb Show back at the Westplex Radio.
That's right, yes.
It was a FM station, which is now the Viper.
I believe that's correct.
What number is that?
100.7 the Viper.
100.7 the Viper. So that was it.
A little plug for another station.
Yeah. It was the Westplex Radio back then, and you came on with long hair, Mr. Cool band member.
That's right.
And then he reminded me that at that time I had just become a grandma with Kylan, and so they all held me long ways and said,
"Here we are holding our very first Grammy."
Dun, 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 dun.
Turns out it's been our only one. So.
It's been your only
Yeah,
Grammy
yes,
that
that's
you've
right.
held. I'm glad I could be one of them for you. Are you still playing music?
We are. It's not as often now, but we actually just talked last night about it. So we're working on a few new songs. And
putting the old band back together, or a brand new band?
Really went away. It just COVID kind of slowed a lot down.
It did a lot of stupid things, didn't it?
It did.
Still a lot of stupid people out there, but well, I'm glad you're thinking about doing it. I think that's great. Gordon retired. Gosh, I don't know how many years. He'll still get up and sing once in a while.
From
but
bands back in 2013, was it 2013, 14, and then
it was. Yeah, retired band, but you didn't give up the music scene though, and the bar scene, and the late nights, and the weekends, and whatever. It's like he's done more in the last 7 years of his life than he did in a lifetime. Because when you're in bands and you're traveling around or in the music industry, your nights are always taken. It's hard to do anything, and then you're exhausted, from being up so late and then hanging out with all the crazies.
Yeah, there was a point where I was actually in what I called 5.5 bands. Where two of the bands were basically the same band, but we did different shows. So we did an original show, we did a cover show. So I called that a half a band. So that was busy.
We know a couple people that are he's in so many bands that we're like, there he is again.
That would be Ed Callison.
Yes, it would. Then when he's not singing, which is a lot when you're in a lot of bands, he's at some band performance, and he works full time still.
And when he's not at some band performance like local bands, we see him at a concert.
Okay, hey, welcome to the show. I just said that.
Oh, you said concerts. I'm sorry.
Welcome to my world.
I didn't hear you say concerts. I heard you say like music, like
well,
local
that would be
music.
kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's
yeah.
okay. That's how
it's kind of different because when you go to a concert, I mean, it's
trying to help himself there.
And God love him, his wife, she'll
say go.
You go ahead and go, Ed.
I would too.
That's when we usually see him by himself, is at the concert.
She's like, I can't do it. I can't keep up with it. But so you're in the world Fybr. Tell us take us inside what Fybr is all about. And of course, when we were reading about it, and I'm like, well, wow, this could keep us from being really crabby when we're going places, because it can be a little bit, upsetting when you're trying to get somewhere and it ends up making you late go ahead. Let's talk about this St. Louis-based smart city technology.
Yes. So in general, the smart city platform is something that brings technology into a city to help make something better or solve some kind of a problem.
All right.
What we found is sort of what I always kind of call the gateway drug to smart city is the parking, because it's one of the things that is easy to sort of justify. It touches everybody. It touches finance very easily. So, a city can look at it and very easily justify putting in the infrastructure for it. And then there's a lot of things that can build up on top of that. So what we did at Fybr is we developed a wireless network that can talk to sensors and other devices in the city at an incredibly low power. And so what that allows us to do is to get data and actions in and out of the community where it normally would maybe not be economical to do so. As I said, the parking thing, and that's kind of what I wanted to kind of focus on here, was our sort of premier category there is parking. And in general, that can be three different sort of things. It could be something that the city is using. It could be something that, say, enforcement is using.
Yeah, I noticed that. So they're going to be able to tell that I didn't put money in the parking lot meter. I don't appreciate that one, Bret.
It's going to flash red.
There it is.
It's going to say, you didn't pay your parking
No
ticket.
parking. Time
expired.
I'd be expired.
Oh, you did do your homework.
Yeah. I'm like, wait a minute now.
Yeah, so, and then there's
Will it beat me?
Well, so...
Get back out there and pay?
Well, that's the thing that's great about it. Okay, so...
I notice it's showing you how much each area is.
Yes. It's so... So the third thing is from the person driving the car's point of view. What is in it for them? Okay, so paid parking is paid parking, and if you don't pay, you risk getting a ticket.
Yeah,
so
pretty much a necessity in the city.
And some people do it that way, and some people don't. So the idea for, like, if you do have paid parking, is that you can pay easily with the phone, and then the phone will alert you if you're running out of time. You can add time. And so that way you're like less at risk of getting a ticket.
I did get a ticket. I got a ticket in Clayton because I didn't realize I was out of time.
Yeah, exactly. And I remember back in the day going to the Central West End.
Hang on, Bret.
Yeah.
Did you pay it?
But
Yes.
He's
Allegedly,
lying. That's a
yeah.
lie face.
Hmm. So I remember, going to the West End, and it was coin-operated meters. Well, I never had any change with me, so I'd be like, "Oh, I'll get change when I go into the restaurant," and I never did, and I always got a ticket.
Yeah. It's so inconvenient.
So, yes, so the paid parking is one aspect of it.
Okay.
But
and we're talking about the ParkSTC app.
well, that's one specific one. So
okay.
we have this in communities all the way from California to New York. We just happen to be St. Louis based, and we have one in St. Charles. So we wanted to talk about that, come on the show, and sort of get the word out a little bit, because a lot of people even in St. Charles aren't aware that it's there, even though it's been there for 2 years now.
I just became aware of it today.
Yeah,
yes,
right now.
Congratulations, welcome aboard. So,
welcome to the party.
So the whole point of the St. Charles one was not for paid parking. They're not charging for parking. They're not really even enforcing anything there either. There are some time limits, but well, we'll just say that maybe they don't enforce that so much. So the real main focus of it was Main Street, bumpy cobblestone road that is very slow moving. All of the restaurants, all of the businesses pretty much are on that road. So if you're not necessarily familiar with the area, you say, hey, I want to go to this restaurant. You put it in your GPS, it guides you right down Main Street along with every single other person. And so you see that one little spot over there, and you do this 8-point turn to try to get into it. And there's all this traffic congestion, and then you can't find anywhere to park. So what happens then is people say, I don't feel like dealing with that today. So they may just decide to not go.
Sure.
But what they don't realize is right behind all those buildings, there's another road that has all kinds of on-street parking, as well as multiple parking lots that are usually open, especially when Main Street's full.
Right.
So what the app does is it shows you where all that open parking is. So it gives you visibility of alternatives.
We'll literally show you, you know how you'll drive up and down or you're waiting to see if something, we'll literally show you in real time that maybe the first 3 lanes are full, but there's a back one in the corner where there's a spot. Will it show you in real time where there's a spot open?
Absolutely. Within seconds of that transition, it'll show in the app. Yeah.
That's incredible to be able to do that.
Yeah, so the one that you're looking at there, that's the enforcement version of it, which is what the officers would use.
Oh.
So I had sent you a clip of the other one. I'm not sure if that's up there or not. So the idea is you just pick where you want to go. You can put your in the search thing. You can actually even hit the location thing, and if you've given permission for your location, it'll actually snap to where you are. So you can then zoom out, and you can see open like dots that will show you how many spaces are in that area. And then when you tap on that, it'll zoom in and show you every space. And then they're either green or they're you'd think red would make more sense, but it's kind of like a reddish orange if they're occupied.
How helpful, because it's not just about the parking meter if you're finding that, or if it's low or full, but being able to know where you could park is sensational, because you're so right. There's a lot of times you go someplace and you want to give up because you don't even know where to park. And if you're not familiar with the area, that also could be difficult. The question I was going to ask, like we were at going to a wedding one time and had parking meter. Will it also let you know if you, sometimes the parking meters, it's only maybe till 6 that you have to pay, but there's no signage or anything, and you're nervous leaving it that possibly you do need to pay. Will it also help you with those things? Yes,
absolutely. So whenever you go in and you look at any space or any area, it'll show you all the details of it. So there'll be a thing that'll show you kind of in general, this is what the rule of the space is. Is it paid? Is it free? Is there a time limit? And then you can actually hit the details, and it'll show you if it is paid, what are the hours that it's active.
Right, or if it's after 7. So when you present this, okay, so now let's talk about the city benefits and the enforcement benefits. When you present this to a city, have you ever gotten any kickback from cities saying, well, we want it to expire because that's how we make our revenue, is if their tickets expire, if their parking's not expiring, then we don't make any money. So, but they make a little bit of money on the parking, but they make more on the when.
Well, okay, so there's a couple ways to look at that. So one of the things is the amount of capture of enforcement is usually really low. And the challenge for a city is that they don't even know how low it is because they don't know how many they missed.
Gotcha.
So you basically write tickets and you kind of guess at how many you could have written, and you say, okay, well, we're writing, say, 20% of the tickets
And they
or
can't
of the
hire enough
violations.
people to look at everything.
Yeah, they just don't know because you don't have that truth data. So what this does is actually gives you all of the data, whether you saw it or visited it or not. It'll show you how many violations occurred that you missed, how many violations occurred that you gathered. Now, one of the main benefits, or I shouldn't say benefit, of a goal of the system is to not squeeze people for more ticket revenue, but is to force compliance. So if they get everybody to just pay for the parking as they should, then that makes everything move smoother, and they're actually happier with that.
Absolutely. And another thing, something that just hit me too, they're going to make more money if people want to come downtown, and it's easier to find parking because
Exactly.
they're going to make more revenue off of tickets. They're going to make more revenue off of restaurants. They're going to make more revenue if more people are coming, and it's less of a hindrance for them to come.
Yeah. And so here you kind of touch on another good angle to this too. So one of the problems that we always see when we get into a new community is they're like, well, we just don't have enough parking. And then we go in and we put the system and we say, you guys actually do have plenty of parking. Your average occupancy is very low, or even at peak times, it's maybe like 85%. So you've got parking. The problem is the people that work there. So you started talking about businesses and tax revenue and things like that. The people that work there, their employees, they get there first. So they park as close to the building as they can.
Which they shouldn't.
They shouldn't, but who knows, right? Who knows that they're doing it? So now a lot of the premier parking spaces, which is probably one of the most expensive pieces of real estate in the area, is being consumed by the people that are not spending money there, are actually making money there.
Oh, wow.
And so what'll happen is we'll go in and we'll show that there's all these cars that have sat here all day, and then they leave later. And so what this will do then is they can see how bad of a problem that is. They can see where this is going on, and they can come by and say, hey, this car's been here for, I don't know, 6-7 hours. Maybe we'll write them a ticket. Maybe we'll give them a warning. There's also other things. We actually have a little transponder. We call it the Fybr Pass, because we have to put fiber in the name of everything. And you put it in your vehicle, and it acts as a permit. And it also can act as automated payment, too. So you can just go and park, and you'll just get automatically billed for whatever payment or whatever parking you've used.
So it makes it even easier. Can
Yep.
we implement this in Newtown? Do you have this in Newtown? Because
we would love to. Yeah.
Honestly, it's a problem because we have these concerts, and people come from everywhere to see these concerts that we have in Newtown, and they were implementing all these new things that they were going to do. And my first question to them was, well, that's great. You're building new buildings. You're building more places for us to come. I go, but what are you going to do about parking?
Yeah.
Because we have a problem already. So where's that going to go?
Yep.
And they couldn't answer me. And so, but I look at that and I go, well, that's great, because we do have people who park their golf carts there at 10 a.m. for a concert and don't move them.
What drives me crazy, just to vent it out, is the places, coffee shops or whatever, or restaurants that put a front parking spot in, and they reserve that for the people that are, picking up or whatever. Someone who's coming in to dine, who wants to sit down, all of a sudden I got to go 100 parking spaces back. But this one person that's getting a cheapskate one little coffee and needs to go, they get a front parking spot. It's like, okay, fair is fair. I don't care. Let them park 100. Let them take the 100,000 steps in to go get their coffee.
Well, that's one of the things that did transition because of COVID. We saw a lot more curb, pickup, drop-offs, ride shares, things like that. So, that's a whole nother aspect of what we do with this too.
Another argument of mine.
Well, yeah, true. Is looking at how do you manage that curb?
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of people that want to get in and out.
Well, tell us, how do we get a hold of the app? Is there a cost to have this app? How is the app happening for us?
Well, it's ParkSTC, so you can just search for that anywhere on your on your phone's store, either the Apple or the Android one. What we're working on doing is getting QR codes placed within the city and working with some of the businesses to post these, so you can just scan that with your phone, and it'll automatically launch a web page which will give you instant access to the visibility of where all the parking is.
All right.
And so it's basically a web version of the app, and then you can choose to download that if you're going to come back and use it again.
Okay. And is there a cost to be able to have this app to use it?
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Well,
Yep.
there you go. So we're just going to put ParkSTC, look for that app, put that in our phone, be able to use it. Will this then become citywide and more cities that we're going to be able to do ParkSTL then to be in the city?
Well, we'd love to see it expand here in St. Louis.
Right now we're in St. Charles.
Yeah, it's in St. Charles right now.
Okay.
We do, like I said, we do have this implemented all the way from New York to California. And so what happens is our normal app is just called Fybr Park. And so what we do is we white label that for specific communities, and they can choose to have their information visible by the other apps or not.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thank you so much. This is Bret Beringer of Fybr. That's FYBR. Check out the Smart City Movement by putting the ParkSTC on your phone. That way we've got Oktoberfest coming up. We got Christmas traditions. There's all kinds of things that are going on in St. Charles. Make it easier for you to park or pay that meter or whatever it is that you might do. Make it easier by that. So thank you so much. We appreciate it. We're going to take it to a break here on the Lou Information Station. Don't go anywhere because we're going to be right back, and we are going to find out about the Diamond G Hat Company. We're going to talk to Caleb, find out more about this right here on the In Your City show. We'll be right back. We are back with the In Your City show right here at the Lou Information Station. And of course, we were talking technology with Bret Beringer. And now we're going to be talking tradition, which is what I would think it would be. We're going to be talking with Caleb Geuns of Diamond G Hat Company. But first, I want to let you know about another traditional person who's been here for 35 plus years, and that's Jennifer Williams. She is the owner of St. Louis Closet Company, which is right there off of Big Ben. And incredible location. It's beautiful. It's huge. You walk in, there's one room after another to give you an idea of how you can take your life from true chaos to calm and clarity. And that's with her team right there on site doing everything local. If you are getting something done in your home, whether it be a teeny little pantry to an enormous closet, maybe it's your garage, your mud room, your bedroom, your extra room, your office, whatever it might be. It might even be your business. She also works on companies' back room and businesses and inside to help you find that storage you did not even know you had. You can have this little bitty tiny closet and turn it into a huge closet. And I don't mean by taking walls out. I mean by having it designed so that your items can be stored correctly and you can find them. Take a look at St. Louis Closet Company. What you'll love about them is everything is done on site. You can watch them build your project if you really want to take the time to do that. And they'll come in, everything's custom, everything's local. They will be able to go into your home, give you a consultation, and let you know how they can make your life better. So we appreciate Jennifer. What does she say? Kick the chaos, choose the custom.
There you go.
I like that. Thanks, Jennifer. We appreciate you very much. And now you know what? She could be able to make a great storage. Like right now, I have my hats hung up on my wall. She could find a great way for me to store all my hats, because if I'm going to be getting a hat designed from this next guest, I'm going to need a really great place to store it. So welcome to the show, Caleb Geuns. What a perfect name, of Diamond G Hat Company. From craft of shaping authentic Western hats to celebrating tradition, brand quality, and we're excited to have you a part of our big hot list party that's coming up October, that you're going to be there actually designing hats. So we're going to be able to not only see you as we have here on the show and watching you do your thing, but we're going to be able to see it in person. So I'm excited about that. Welcome to the show. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you so much. The St. Louis Closet Company, they can help you with the hat thing. They actually designed our closet. So
how phenomenal is that?
And I assure you, there's plenty of hats up in there. So
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
I love that. See, I was right.
So did they create the little cubby holes, exactly?
Yeah, I mean, they came in and inventoried everything and designed like we had added onto our home and done a new master and put this walk-in closet. We thought, we should reach out to some people for a custom solution, and they won the business. They were tremendous to work with.
And we did not know that testimonial was
happening.
You didn't
pay for that either,
no, we didn't. There's a free one. There you go.
Yeah.
That's awesome. We'll have to make sure. I know Jennifer listens a lot and watches the show, but we'll have to make sure she gets this one with that beautiful accidental testimonial there going on. So appreciate it. So Caleb, How in the world did you all of a sudden decide that you wanted to be this incredible designer?
Yeah, I think it started when I was a little kid. My dad actually used to shape his cowboy hats over a teapot. And so it was like one of those core memories you have from childhood. I remember him, using the teapot to steam his cowboy hat and shape those. And then as I got a little bit older, he showed me how to do it on my baseball hats. So you see people that like jam baseball hats in a pint glass or put a rubber band around it, or, to get that perfect bill curve. And he actually just taught me how to do it with steam. And I used to do it all the way through college for like my dorm mates, and just taught them how to do it right. And then, these last few years, I've traveled all over for my career, and I was spending a lot of time in Texas and seeing these guys shape cowboy hats and making a pretty good living at it. And I was like, I can totally do that. I can probably actually do it better than them if I tried. And, put your money where your mouth is a little bit. And I did again, the business acumen of things, I did like SWOT analysis and kind of, a business plan if I were to go into business here of going into, the hat industry. And I just identified it, it'll probably break even at worst. It might take off. We'll see. And I sent it out to some friends. Like, I have a friend that's an adjunct professor at Harvard in the business school. And he's like, if you follow this, I know it's going to succeed.
That's
and
wonderful.
That was like the validation I needed. And
following your passion.
yeah, it's been insane. Like the growth, I think this is our second year. So we started in April of 24. And here we are, mid-September. And
more women or more men that are wanting the cowboy hats? Because I feel it's a really big deal with the women right now.
Yeah, it's actually a pretty good split. And I think the one thing that separates us from a lot of the other hat companies you see pop up is like they do a lot of their decoration, or like the hats are a lot more custom on the decoration side. They add a lot of, accessories, accoutrement. We can do that stuff, and we do that stuff a lot. But really what we do is we take what they call an open crown hat, which the top is completely...
Did you put a picture of that? Because that's what was going to be my question, is I never realized how a hat starts until I saw your beginning. That's actually one of your hats right there, which is gorgeous. We've got you steaming a hat. Let's see if he moves through, if he finds the one that he had...
Yeah, that's a good picture right there. You see how it's still kind of rounded over on the top of the hat, and
right.
It's flat brimmed.
Yeah.
So we take it basically from scratch. That's called an open crown. And we have shaping menus to help people select the styles. And we give recommendations too based on their face shape and like their body type. And we take it from that to a completed project. And in some cases, I mean, it depends on how well the hat works. Like every hat has its own personality. But in some cases, I can get it done in like less than 10 minutes.
So I have a hat at home. Had this hat that I got and it got bent in travel. I packed it incorrectly. I should have not done that. And I've ruined the front, but I also don't like the shape of it. I'd like it to have more of a cowboy hat style.
Yeah.
So if I brought that to you, could you fix where it got messed up and actually change the style of it for me?
Yeah, for the most part. Sometimes it depends on the quality of hat and how much it's been worn. And not like
once,
physically.
Then I ruined it.
Yeah, not physically worn as much as like, is the hat beat up, and if it still has some shape to it, if it's still somewhat, got good body, I can definitely do that.
I'm gonna bring it just in case.
Yeah, we do a tremendous amount of people. I think that's the cool thing about us with the shaping versus just, adding accessories to a pre-existingly shaped hat. We earn a lot of like legitimacy. Like this weekend we were at events and we have cowboys in the back from the rodeo that come to us before we even open for business. I think that's like a good sign when like the cowboys are wearing our product. It's not, we really focus on high quality hats, not, cheap hats that we can dress up.
Right.
They're all Texas family-owned companies that are, legacy companies that people know of. We just recently added boots along those same lines and belts. What we really try to focus on is, we want Texas-owned brands that are really prominent through the stockyards of Fort Worth, and we want to bring that to the Midwest. And I think a lot of people are handcuffed from doing that because they want to focus on big names where, that's our job as a company, is to tell the story and do the marketing of why we carry the brands we carry and, really go out there and be ambassadors for the product.
Have you seen a surge in cowboy hats since Yellowstone?
Yeah.
I'm sure that hasn't hurt business any.
No, it hasn't, and it's expected to keep growing. Like so, industry experts are predicting like a 25% growth in the next 3 years, and it's already a multi-billion-dollar industry. And it's funny you brought up Yellowstone. So we just last Monday announced our website went live, diamondghatcompany.com, and the boot line that we brought in, the belts, they went live. And actually, Mo Brings Plenty from Yellowstone was the one who did the voiceover for us.
Really? That's exciting.
And I couldn't even believe it. Like, we just shot our shot, like really like subtly, like, hey, would your client, the agent, would your client be interested in this? And he gave us he looked at our website, he read our bio on like who we were as a company, being like a family-based company in the Midwest and like really, bootstrap type of mentality. And he gave us, I don't know if I could hire you guys for as little as he charged us. He was just very, very giving and I want to be a part of this. So it was exciting. And
it's wonderful.
Same goes for a lot of the brand ambassadors we have. We have a woman in the hunting industry, Maggie Williams, and she's very, very prominent in the bird hunting industry. 1.2 million followers on social media.
Nice.
We don't pay her. Adam Wainwright, former pitcher of the Cardinals, now country music singer. We don't pay him, and every time he comes to town, he lets us know and wants a hat.
He's always wearing his cowboy hat, isn't he?
It's been sometimes I got to pinch myself. We feel really blessed to be in the situation we're in. So
are cowboy hats all different? The brim of it, are there larger, smaller? Is there a special style that's right now, or does anything go?
It's a little bit preference, but a lot of first time customers that come up to us, we really want to take in your frame size. A petite woman, we don't want a massive brim on you, and we actually on the felt hats, we'll cut them down right.
What?
I was just thinking, a little bitty woman with the big hoss hat.
Yeah. So we'll put it right in front of you, and this is part of the shaping. We'll actually cut down the brim in front of you, so you see that it's truly being made for you. Shapes, there are some prominent shapes, right there you saw a heart-shaped crown. Those are somewhat popular with women. The teardrop kind of also comes off of that, so you see that on fashion hats. Right there, I'm making a cattleman crown, which is when you think a Kevin Costner cowboy, that's a cattleman, and we call it JB brim, which you can actually see in that picture. That's what I have on my. I have the brim would be the similar style,
which is beautiful. So actually, the top of the hat, the way it might be styled, kind of goes with maybe someone who is a bull rider, a buck and bronco, or a western, or a man on a farm. There's really kind of different ways that they wear styles.
Yeah, and I think it's a little bit regional as well. And there you see some of the decoration we do outside of just shaping. We bring in some of the accessories and hat bands to really make it scream the personality or look that the client is going for. That's actually my niece who modeled for us.
So it's beautiful.
While we look at her, so there's a lot. Is there a lot to factor in? I know you said the frame and the size, but is there also she's got dark hair, so would a dark hat look better on her than a tan hat? Or even with guys, you got a round face, you got a
long face.
A long face. What kind of hat looks good on you? And how do you determine that?
So there is definitely an art to it. So you think about the Vitruvian Man, the drawing where everybody was perfectly proportional that Da Vinci did. So we kind of live by where that hat band sits across your forehead. We want that to be an even divider between your chin and the top of the hat. And so we kind of eye that in. And it sounds really technical, but it pleases the eye. When you see somebody that's wearing a hat that fits that, it's you kind of just, that's natural looking. And so somebody that has a longer face, we might go with a higher crown. Our family genes there in the face, we kind of have square jaw, a little bit shorter, I
can still see her eyes, but the hat is nice.
It actually
it's
makes
still
you
low.
Focus on the eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And especially with women as well. You asked about color.
Yeah.
Beautiful women will attract any eyes. It doesn't matter the color as long as the hat fits them in the way that it should. And that's one thing that I think a lot of people lose sight of. You see people that are wearing hats that are on the very back of their head or seem wobbly. If you don't get the fit right on a customer, they're not going to wear it again. And if they do wear it, they'll look foolish. So before we get to the shaping part at all, it's really all about the fit. That's the foundation of the whole experience. And that truly is what we sell. Yeah, we sell hats and we sell them custom for you, but it's not just the hat. It's the experience and the story that goes behind it of saying if you ask people that have nicer hats, like, hey, where did you get that? Guarantee you, they can tell you who shaped it, where they got it, how much they paid, where this mark or scar came from on it. It's more than just the hat. It's everything else that comes with it.
That's awesome. Well, I'm definitely, when we see you at the event, I'm definitely getting a hat made for me. So,
That's awesome.
What color do you think you'd be going with?
expert.
I think I would go with black with you. I mean, you seem to wear black well, as you sit here today. Like, I mean, you can't go wrong with your first hat being a black hat.
All right.
That'll
there
go
we
with everything. What color would I wear?
See, you're different with the lighter hair and the
I
skin
am
tones.
different.
Boy, is she ever.
I'm a unique character.
I think for you, I would actually go with a red hat.
Really?
Yeah, and which is crazy because, I'm not like, a fashion designer at all, but I was recently also told that the majority of women have red as one of their like fall tones. And so I think with
Just got a red purse for my birthday.
See?
And I need something to go with
Well,
it.
here's what's crazy. Her mom, who recently passed, that was her favorite color.
And I actually have her red hat up in my closet.
Well, see, I wasn't
It
too far off then.
Yeah, she's
She's a cowgirl, so
I used to
she
show
used
horses,
barrel
and
race.
so I had a pink hat when I was a little girl. That
Nice.
my outfit and that I had, but my mom always wore red when she would show. She had foxtrotters, and she always had a red hat, and I still have that red hat. It's a little dusty right now, but
Maybe it's time for the update so that one can stay sitting and you got the sentimental value.
yeah, maybe that is that. That's fabulous. So you don't realize what you learn when you're talking about things. Now I noticed a lot of the hats have that. Would that be a velvety? What is that finish? That soft.
It's felt. So
Felt,
yeah,
okay.
so it's a felt hat. Depending on the quality is a big portion of hats. So, our lower end hats in the way of price are wool, and that's not something we generally advocate for if you're going to wear it like out in the elements a ton versus like to a concert, to dinner, those types of things. As you go up in the quality, you go from wool to rabbit hair, and then from rabbit hair to beaver, which when you look at
Didn't know that.
you guys are going to get like a 30,000 foot view on the science of the hat.
Yeah.
So when you look at a rabbit, a single hair fiber, it's 14 microns thick. So you can actually tumble these into a really tight weave to prevent the elements. Beaver is actually 12 microns thick. So you're getting even better. And as you know, beaver hair is water repellent. That's why they hang out in the water.
Is.
So when you get a 100X hat, generally, some companies have gone crazy with the X system and it's all marketing, but a 100% beaver hat, you could wear that in a hurricane, run over it with your truck, and I could still make it look good after it dries out. So
Incredible.
even though they're expensive, the real cowboy goes to that higher end because he's going to wear it day and night, sunshine, rain, riding horses to, passing out in his bar
Gonna
stool.
get trampled.
Yeah, and it'll still look great. One of our manufacturers, he has the same 100X hat he's had for 5 years. Still looks awesome. So,
What is the material of a hat that you'd wear year round? Because you feel like in this, gosh, it's spring and summer. I can't wear my hat anymore.
so there's rules to it actually.
Okay.
So you always wear a felt hat for a formal occasion,
Felt for formal.
regardless of temperature. Actually, then we do Memorial Day to Labor Day. We switch to straw hats, and so that Labor Day is not a hard start. Neither is Memorial Day. This year it was kind of cool still.
Yes.
Late in May, early June. But like this weekend, I was still wearing a straw hat because it was
So
just
warm.
warm. But once you start getting those nights into like the 50-degree-ish mark, it's time to swap
Then
over.
we can pull them out.
Yeah,
there.
well, and felt season's awesome.
So we need to know felt season. If you're going to an event and you're wearing your hat, you'd want to wear felt. That's etiquette.
Your event in October, definitely a felt hat. If anybody's going to the Bush Distillery Rodeo the first Saturday of October,
You can wear your felt hat.
Bring your felts.
One more thing before we go. Is there a rule of how you're supposed to place your hat when you're not wearing it? You're not supposed to just lay it down on furniture, correct?
Always upside down.
Okay.
So you don't spill your luck out, is what we say.
Spill your luck
But it
out.
also prevents the brim from flattening out. So you keep that nice curvature of the brim.
I love that.
And one other thing, when you're putting it in a suitcase and you got to travel, how's the best way to do it?
I do not suggest that. Put it on your knee.
That's what I did. I put a towel in. I did all kinds of things, and it got messed up, which I'm going to bring to see if you might be able to switch it around. If not, at least I tried, and I
least you
know
tried.
it's a felt hat, so we'll see how that does. But I did notice when some girls were coming back from a trip, and they had cowboy night or cowgirls, one of their theme nights, and they all had it in a plastic bag and clipped to their on bag so they could carry it on the plane with them and not get messed up. I thought, perfect. If I'm ever going to take my hat again next time, I'm just going to keep it with me.
If you go through the airport early December in Las Vegas, or going out there for the National Finals Rodeo, that's like 10 nights of rodeo.
Wait, when is that?
It's early December.
We're trying to find a time because we want to see the Wizard of Oz and the
at the Sphere.
At the Sphere, so maybe we'll go when they're having that rodeo. How fun would that be?
Yeah, I'll actually be out there shaping hats for that event again this year.
How fun!
And yeah, you'll see women in the airport wearing like 3, 4, 5 hats stacked on top of each other because the airline can't make them not carry them on because they're wearing them.
That's
so then
funny.
they get on, put them on their lap to transport so they don't smash them.
Well, we're going to check into that time. That would definitely be fun. Well, this is all the time we have, and we've got to say goodbye. So appreciate you watching the In Your City show right here at the Lou Information Station. As always, we end it with a beautiful cheers. But today, from our memory of our great vacation in San Francisco, we're going to bring to you a restaurant there to say goodbye. From Chiopino's in San Francisco. Cheers.
I just